All right, Jeff Pierce with us as we refocus on some stocks here. Market's doing nothing. So, all right, chit chat. We're having a great time, but stocks are doing literally squat. All right, but we still got 60 minutes left here. Mr. Jeff Pierce, let's talk Eli Lilly. There's been a little bit of drama in the obesity drugs after politicians are trying to get in the way.
Yeah, they're certainly trying to cut down the costs. We've seen that, recent call for that, the White House calling for, different drug stocks to start lowering prices. We know that they focused on Novo Nordisk to substantially reduce their U.S. price for Wegovy, Ozempic. Eli Lilly, of course, charges about $1,000 per month for Mounjaro. So, the drug diabetes and weight loss drugs. So that could be some pressure on these companies. Other news for Eli, though, of course, is the FDA approving their Kisunla, the latest Alzheimer's drug that they have. We know it was rejected last year due to insufficient data, then surprisingly again in March, but approval had been widely anticipated after the FDA advisory panel ended with unanimous support for the drug last month, which is likely why we're not seeing much of a reaction in the stock today. But it's supposed to aid in the removal of those amyloid plaques that's believed to cause those memory issues and thinking problems. The treatment is expected to slow the decline of those issues. And, with right now, the Alzheimer's Association estimates about 6.9 million people are living with the disease, fifth leading cause of death for adults over 65. This is, of course, one of the biggest drug makers out there. They plan to really start promoting this with doctors, and cost-wise, it's going to cost about $12,522 for 6 months. For a full 18 months, over $48,000. Now, Lilly expects that to be covered by Medicare, which is certainly a big deal when it comes to these approvals. But of course, there's competition out there like Leqembi, which comes from Eisai and Biogen.
All right. They've got a lot going for them, man. What a story right now for Eli Lilly. Just to see the FDA give credit to this, and it's very hopeful. It's very inspiring. It's something that's been eluding these scientists for a really long time. So even though it's still just, to slow the process, it still is just such a kind of seminal step in the right direction that it's hard not to get excited about, and the shares reflect it. The weight loss stuff, sure, there's a lot of health implications of that too, but that's become such a cultural thing as well that Eli now kind of has both prongs. They've got the neurodegenerative side, they've got the obesity side. I mean, it's just cranking. It's just a beast.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you look at specifically when we think about the Alzheimer's side of this, there was some disappointment when Eisai and Biogen released their previous drug, that Aduhelm, in 2021, just, really did not do very well. And then now we're seeing Leqembi out there. Those sales are about 19 million globally in Q1. Of course, as you pointed out, if you look at some of these drugs that have really moved the needle in terms of revenue, Mounjaro, Zepbound, for Eli Lilly, they're flying off the shelves. They can't meet the demand right now. In fact, the company had just invested about $9 billion in a manufacturing plant, which is the largest investment in Eli Lilly's history. So, expectations are high in terms of revenue. They've got to meet the demand on those Mounjaro and Zepbound drugs. Certainly, there is some pushback in terms of price and cost and Medicare, Medicaid coverage, but you can't deny that the company's been doing relatively well, right? Revenue coming in $8.7 billion, up 26% the last report. Looking at the stock price, I mean, it's incredible growth.
Wow. All right. Good stuff. Jeff Pierce, good analysis. Thanks. Good numbers there, too.